So I've got the mechanism, the carriage, up on the bench right now, and I'm dealing with all of the adjustments as per the manual. In fact, I just finished up with the clutch adjustments, these three right here, which set how much lateral play this thing has when it's engaged, and how far up and down the clutch is actually allowed to run. Right now I've got it in the scan position, so I'm going to kick that in. We'll start to spin. You can see the clutch down there engaged. It's got some white lithium on it. It's a little messy. We're going to go ahead and shut the power off. I'm going to flip the trip lever back here to kick it into the play position. And we'll watch. This is the arm I was dealing with. I soaked the absolute crap out of this with the blaster in the mechanism because there was no way in hell I could ever get all the way in there to take it apart. And now, arm raises fully. So the arm's at the rest position, the record would be fully clamped inside the platter. Everything's running now, and we find the trip lever. There it is. When we kick it back out of that, drops it back down, we start scanning again. And then we'll hit it back into play. And there we go. So far so good. Everything seems to be running quite nicely. Once I check the last few adjustments in the manual, I'll get the record magazine back on here and then get that adjusted hopefully correctly. That's actually something I should probably do with this mounted back fully, because it needs to properly index at its home position before you can really get it perfectly centered. So I'll try to be cautious with that, but I will at least allow me to be able to test it picking a record out of the magazine, putting it into play position, trying to play, and then putting it back. And then I can work on adjusting the tone arm for spring tension to make sure it's got good tracking and all that. Okay, so I've got all the clutch adjustments and whatnot finished up, and I've got the magazine back on the unit and set up with a single 45 in it. The carriage I just scanned through and I've lined it up with that spot. And now we've got the mechanism set up to go into play position from scan. Let's see if it grabs that record and puts it where it should, or if I haven't aligned it correctly and it just crushes the arm by mistake. And there we go. Now let's see if it puts it back. And there we go. So we've got all that ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and reassemble the upper portion of this, clean up and grease the tracks that the popularity counter solenoid and the record indicator light goes on. Get all that reassembled and cleaned, and then that barring, I would still like to get a new spring for this right here, because the way I've got this one set up just isn't optimal. I would like to replace that still, and then it's time to go through the amplifier and get that thing going.